Bell and the TAISM Band. Ambassador Holt's Board of Directors, faculty, parents, and friends, as the director of the school, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the Bosch Center for the Performing Arts at the American International School of Muscat for the graduation ceremony of the class of 2014. I would also like to extend our greetings to those who are watching on live stream. Friends, it gives me great pleasure from around the world. Tonight's ceremony is for the students and by the students. It is with great joy that we take the opportunity to see and hear our graduates. You will even note that the TAISM alumni have joined in the choir to make this even a more special event. As TAISM audiences know, we respect those who are being honored by turning off our cell phones and not taking flash photography. And there's no need to video because we have live stream archived for you to look at your viewing pleasure at any time. And now, let the ceremony begin with the procession of our graduates.
Ambassador Holtz, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, family, friends, teachers, fellow graduates, Mom. Welcome to the graduation ceremony of TAISM's class of 2014. I am Amy Ross, and I will be your Master of Ceremony this evening. We have gathered our loved ones here so that we can celebrate the time we have spent learning, loving, laughing, and crying with one another. I know that we all think we're immortal. We're supposed to feel that way. We're graduating. The future is and should be bright. But, like our brief 4 years in high school, what makes life valuable is that it doesn't last forever. Everyone always warned me that my senior year would fly by, but I guess I didn't really notice until it was already gone. To some of the graduates, this is the only school they've ever known. They've been a part of this community for over 13 years. To others, this may have been their first year, but no matter how long we've been here, we're all very blessed to have been granted the time to know one another. I've loved my time at TAISM. I love that my principal has a catchphrase, that my English teacher calls my mom through a stapler, that my drama director always had some cereal for me if I missed breakfast that morning, and that although I was only here for 2 short years, I have found a second family. Mrs. Brink recently shared a quote with me. It reads, "You will never be completely at home again, because part of your heart will always be elsewhere. That is the price you pay for the richness of knowing and loving people in more than one place. We have all found a home here. Whether it is the only home you've known or your 10th, we will always have people here that will miss us. They will love us and they will remember us. We are leaving a piece of our hearts in these halls. Now it is time for us to make ourselves new homes, in unfamiliar cities, in foreign countries, and with new people. But before we start our independent lives, we ought to look back. I remember my orientation day. I walked into the gym and I met Hanan Gerard, the perkiest little thing I'd ever seen. I had no idea that she would eventually grow to be the best friend I could have ever asked for. She introduced me to my volleyball coach, the woman who gave me the confidence and the courage to leave everything I had on the court. I remember when I made the spontaneous decision to audition for The Little Mermaid, which led to Mrs. Hovland becoming a great mentor and someone I knew I could always turn to. This community is made up of wonderful and loving people. As a class, I know that we all value this family and the memories we have made together. But now comes the time for our family to move out, knowing that we have been taught well and that we will always have someone watching over us. But moving on to the next steps of our lives doesn't mean that we will forever ever forget where we came from. Dad, I'll be in touch weekly, even if it's just to share a laugh or exchange movie critiques. Mom, I'll always be readily available if you ever want to take me shopping. As the class of 2014, I firmly believe the time we have spent together has been meaningful. We made the most of our opportunities to display our leadership. We valued our educations, and we celebrated our friendships. I know that as we venture off to become pilots, biomedical engineers, economists, lawyers, teachers, and whatever else we want to be, that we will carry the time we have spent at TAISM with us forever. As we begin this commencement ceremony, let us remember the time we have spent together and celebrate the little time that we have left. Mothers, and even maybe some fathers, get your tissues ready. I have had an amazing 2 years in the halls of TAISM, and I will miss you all very much. Thank you. The word valedictorian comes from Latin, and loosely translated means to say farewell. The valedictorian at TAISM is the senior who has the highest grade point average during the 11th and the first 3 quarters of their 12th grade years. At TAISM, we honor the valedictorian by asking them to speak at graduation. I am happy to introduce this year's valedictorian, who is not only a remarkable person, but also a very good friend and a treasured teammate. Our valedictorian, Nia Abdulkader.
Ambassador Holtz, Your Excellencies, Board of Directors, Mr. Mashanta, Mr. Schaefer, Mr. Boniface, faculty, parents, students, guests, and fellow graduates, good evening. Tonight is a celebration of our 4 years of high school. 4 years of hard work, preparation, and anticipation of starting the next chapter of our lives. Whether we've been here all 4 years or just a few, our high school experience has tested us and presented us with challenges to overcome and lessons to learn. These 4 years have been the most important years of our lives, in part because of the lessons we have learned about the value of diversity, friendship, and overcoming adversity. My journey at TAISM started in kindergarten. TAISM in 2001 was definitely not the same as TAISM in 2014. There was no blue gym, second football field, and the middle school and high school wings were non-existent. The performance hall was our cafeteria, the choir rooms were our library, and the Bosch Center, where we are all gathered, used to be a playground. As small as the school was, I still managed to get lost on my first day. I was supposed to find Miss Habiba as soon as I got off the bus, but instead, I followed the crowd and entered the front and only rotunda, surrounded by giants. There were just so many big kids walking everywhere, seeming to know where they were going, and I had no clue where my classroom was. After wandering for a while, trying really hard not to panic, I finally found Miss Habiba. With her help, I found my class, and the rest of the day went well. It was in my kindergarten class where I met 6 of my fellow graduates: Amanda, Mark, Ralph, Makram, Jennifer, and Laksha, who have been with me since the beginning and who have seen the changes and growth of both TAISM and our graduating class. Whether you have been a member of the TAISM community for many years or joined this past September, you know that being at this school has given us unique lessons. We are taught not just the materials in our textbooks, but to question, investigate, and wonder about the world. It is a place where we can stretch our minds and gain new perspectives, all in the company of people from different cultures and ethnicities. Our class consists of 24 nationalities, ranging from Austria to Yemen, people who would never have met if it hadn't been for TAISM. Attending such a diverse school has taught us that we are not defined by our appearances or ethnic backgrounds, but rather our personalities and character. However diverse our nationalities and cultures, TAISM has helped us recognize that we are more alike than we are different. We are members of a community who study for our classes, paint to create art, play instruments in band, put on dramatic productions, and compete on fields and courts, all working together towards success and excellence. And in an increasingly globalized world, the interpersonal experiences we have enjoyed at this school will best help us to understand and empathize the variety of people we shall meet in the future. Throughout our years at this school, we have formed many friendships, and together created memories of good times and laughter. Like the time in 4th grade, when Ralph brought in a cake with huge sparkler candles for his birthday, and when it was lit, the fire alarm went off. We thought we were the coolest kids in school because we made everyone evacuate the building. Or in 8th grade, when the majority of our class went to Izmir, Turkey for space camp, where we simulated a space mission, built mini rockets, explored the city, and visited the ruins of Ephesus. Or memories like dancing to our class song at prom for the past 4 years. We'll remember the dances we planned and choreographed, and we'll also remember the impromptu dance we had 2 weeks ago that still turned out all right. Each year, our class has been slightly different according to the arrivals and departures of members, adding a unique character and bringing new perspectives. Class of 2014. Believe it or not, we have made it this far. Tonight is the culmination of our hard work and perseverance through Mr. Zardi's essays, Mr. Jackson's McDees, and Mr. Brink's homework packets. Through heavy course loads, standardized tests, and college applications, through our after-school sport practices, play rehearsals, and MUN meetings. But the things that we will remember the most will probably not be the specific power of Iran's Expediency Council, or the area of 3x squared plus 5 around the x-axis. What we will remember most is spending breaks in the Commons Room, traveling to countries such as China, India, and France for educational and cultural trips, listening to stories from our teachers, and being amongst friends and family who have supported, cared for, and loved us. We could not have gotten to this point in our lives alone. It is the guidance from our teachers, parents, siblings, and personally from my brother Imad, who is graduating with me today, who have helped shape us into the young adults that stand before you, and we truly appreciate your role in our lives. I do not know what the future holds, nor will I share advice for life after high school, because I'm in the same position as all of you. But whether you're going to college, taking a gap year, or are unsure what your plans are for next year, know that you're equipped for the road ahead because of what you have learned at TAISM. Our friends, families, teachers, and our experiences at this school have all taught us lessons about life. These 4 years have presented challenges in schoolwork, balancing classes, extracurricular activities, and relationships, and making choices that will affect the rest of our lives. We have struggled through our challenges and made mistakes, but more often than not, we have overcome and learned from these adversities. Graduates, we can be proud of what we have accomplished as individuals and as a class, and we should look forward to the future with optimism and confidence. There are times when you might get lost, like I was on my first day of school, but trust that you have the ability to rise to the challenge thanks to the knowledge, friendships, and experiences you have gained at your time at TAISM. Thank you. I would now like to ask Amy Ross to return to the podium.
The choral anthem has grown to be a special tradition for our TAISM community. I now present TAISM's high school choral department, along with 7 choir alumni, to perform Like an Eagle. They are conducted by Mrs. Melanie Brink and accompanied by Ms. Yumi Nishiguchi. Now I would like to yield the floor to the outstanding senior. The outstanding senior is a student who has distinguished him or herself through academic achievement, participation in a variety of extracurricular activities, contributions to the TAISM community, and character during his or her junior and senior years at TAISM. I yield the floor to a truly incredible individual, Wael Al-Dahadi.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, Ambassador Holtz, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, members of the TAISM board, teachers, parents, and fellow students. I am delighted to be speaking here tonight. First, I would like to thank all my teachers who have given me this opportunity, and my family and friends who have helped me through this journey and taught me an important lesson about perseverance, which I'll be telling you a little bit about tonight. In the summer of 2004, my father and I drove past TAISM on our way to Adeba Beach. We had just moved from Nizwa to Muscat that year, and it was the first time I ever saw TAISM, so I had no idea what it was. I asked my father about it, and he told me it was some American school. I remember how I looked at the soccer field in amazement. There was grass in Oman, just like in the movies. That day, I secretly wished I could attend that school. None of the 3 public schools I attended had grass soccer fields. None of them had closed air-conditioned gyms. None of them had lockers. None of them had fewer than 30 students in each grade. Not even in 3rd grade, which was the first year I learned English. I remember we had an English teacher who could not speak Arabic. And she spoke English with a very thick accent. I could barely understand what she was saying. I had absolutely no idea what was going on in class, which is why, no surprise, I ended up getting my first hat in school, which is an F in the Omani system. I was devastated. I started crying in class. But soon I realized there wasn't much I could do about it. So I decided to move on. Well, I also stopped because I was a little embarrassed to cry in class. The next semester, I got a D, which was at the time good enough for me. The next year, I got a B. The year after that, I was at an A. You would think that's amazing, but it wasn't really. Despite my A, I still couldn't speak much English. Every other subject I took in school, I loved, except for English. And what was there to love about it anyway? It starts from left to right, and it looks and sounds really weird. And those 2 letters that sound exactly the same, how was I supposed to know how to differentiate between them? There was a B, and then there was another P. Which means I had to learn how to mispronounce Pepsi. That's Pepsi. But I did well in class, and that is all that mattered to me about English. But at the end of 6th grade, my counselor called me for a meeting. He told me that there was a scholarship from the American government that sends Arab students to American schools in their countries, and that our school had nominated me to get the scholarship. I did not know what to say. I was full of mixed feelings. Excitement, happiness, hope, sadness for leaving that school and my friends, and pride. I was scheduled for an interview at TAISM that summer. It was the summer of 2008. If I did well on the interview, I would start 7th grade at TAISM on a full scholarship. I entered TAISM, saw the rows of lockers which looked foreign to me, and the people who looked even more foreign. Mr. Boniface, I am not sure how well you remember that interview, but I remember it very well. Do you remember when you asked me whether I was a troublemaker? And I said, yes. I thought you were asking if I thought I would encounter any troubles in this new school. which I thought I would. Oh, thank you for taking me in anyway. But I understand English much better now, yet regular English class was an ordeal for me. It was probably more of an ordeal for Nia, because I sat next to her and I kept asking her about everything I didn't understand, which was a lot, but she never failed to help me. By the end of the first semester, Mr. Duncan, our English teacher, gave us a vocabulary test. I failed that test. I got my first hat at TAISM. That failure made me realize how difficult all my other subjects were going to be. Maths, social studies, sciences, all in English. I went home that day determined that I would rather go to my old school and retain my previous grades. I would rather give up the scholarship and get better grades in the public school. So I went home and asked my dad if he could let the school cancel the contract with me and give the scholarship to another student. He told me they had specifically said that once I was in, I couldn't get out. Later I realized that wasn't fully true, but it wasn't a lie either. It was what we call kitba bayda, a white lie. Unlike me, my father had faith that just like I got through English in my public school, I could get through it at TAISM. And I'm very grateful to my father for his great faith in me. So I struggled through that year, reading books like Toady and Frog, while my friends were reading chapter books like Harry Potter. Yet, at the end of my first year, I passed all my classes, and I earned a place on the honor roll. Near the end of 8th grade, Mrs. Carden, my English teacher, told me that I wrote better than some native speakers. And that comment just struck me. I had always been thinking that everyone else was much better than me because they were not taking ELL and they were speaking English fluently. I had always thought I could never be as good, but her encouragement made me realize I could. So from that day on, I tried harder and harder and made sure I did my best. By the end of the first semester of 9th grade, I did not need ELL anymore, thanks to the tireless efforts of Mrs. McNulty and Mrs. Kroll, the best ELL teachers in the world. And today, I am here, standing at this podium. If my father had let me quit, I would not be here. If I had given up, I would not have learned English. If I had not persevered, I would not have been honored to speak with you tonight. And I think that perseverance is something that all of the graduating seniors today share, because without it, they wouldn't be here. Another thing I am sure we seniors share is our gratitude for those who had helped us succeed and graduate today. Our dear teachers, our dear parents, and our dear friends. In Arabic, we have an epigram that says, "Man 'allamani harfan, sirtu lahu 'abdan." It means that we are forever grateful to anyone who has taught us as much as a single letter. Given my experience at TAISM, nothing could be more true. There is nothing more valuable than knowledge. Thank you very much.
Wael, thank you for those lovely words. And just for the parents out there, I just want to assure you, he is no longer a troublemaker. The journey that leads a 12th grade student to this stage has many helping hands along the way. From their first days in school, teachers have been working with these students, none more important than the last, each playing the role in the composite picture you see here today. At this time, I would like to ask all of the TAISM faculty to stand and be recognized for their roles in preparing these graduates.
Well, it's very hard to compete with these excellent three speeches, Amy, Nia, and Wael. Ambassador Holtz, distinguished guests, excellencies, friends, the whole TAISM family. My dear family and our beloved Ralph. Our story started with TAISM in 1997. We were wondering how to educate our kids in Oman because we were not happy with the French school where our boys, Rafiq and Rami, who are with us tonight, which school they should go to. And suddenly we hear about the American school coming to Muscat. I value American education because I grew up at the American school in the south of Lebanon, and I graduated from the American University of Beirut. So it didn't take too long for me and for my wife, Christiane, to make a decision to check the school. I was full of ambition, and my ambition was in the right place. We took the decision. Rafiq and Rami started at the old campus in Medina Sultan Qaboos, and the school was 126 students. There were many hurdles throughout the years, many difficulties, but with the generosity of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the local authorities, the wisdom and the perseverance of the board of directors, which I had the honor to be serving on since the inception of the school. And a very valuable player in that game was the US Embassy, the guardianship of our school. Many ambassadors, and thank you Ambassador Holtz for being with us tonight and always supporting us. And many DCMs always came forward to help us. We stand today high. TAISM is a solid school moving forward proudly to prepare generations like class of 2014 to move forward in life confident and solid. For all that, I need to say a few words from the heart. On behalf of my family, my wife Christiane, our oldest son Rafiq, who graduated from TAISM in 2009 and just completed his master's in construction management 4 weeks ago at Northeastern in Boston, and Rami, our middle son, who is halfway done studying business finance, and our baby Ralph, who's graduating tonight with, he is our baby, yes, graduating tonight. I would like to say to the teachers, to our friends, to TAISM family, to the staff, the counselors, the principals, my colleagues of the current board of directors and the previous board of directors, to the US Embassy and the many ambassadors, and we have 2 of them present with us tonight, to the administration, to the excellent director, Mr. Kevin Schaefer, who had been leading our school for the past 14 years, and we are moving on. I would like to say 2 words. Thank you from the depth of our heart. Graduates, you've done a lot, you've made it. I have a small tip. It says you cannot, it's a proverb that says you cannot get to the top by sitting on your bottoms. So make sure you move on and always rise to the challenge, which is TAISM's motto. Thank you. And now, with pride and love, as chairperson of the board of directors of the American International School in Muscat, I hereby accept these members of the class of 2014 and award them the diploma for graduation from the American International School of Muscat, Sultanate of Oman. Congratulations to each and every one of you, to your families and to your friends. Congratulations.
We will now award the diplomas. Imad Ramzi Abdul Qadir. Nia Ramzi Abdul Qadir. Amani Saida Abu Bakr. Hamza Adil. Hajar Mirza Muhammad Al-Ajmi. Ghazi Al-Shamat. Wa'il Saif Mohammed Al-Baghari. Layan Kamil Mahmoud Al-Musa. Shireen Adil Alaspoor. David Arturo Alizo Maldonado. Wilhelm Anderson. Kaylin Ashby. Makram El Ashkar. Fadi Sadek Barsoum.
Luka Bukowski. Laura Madeline Brissenden. Mark Chahu. Daniel Augustine Daly. Arwa Dayani. Jennifer Jam Dixon. Maria Regina Lile Tijani. Laksha Hamid Dutia. Brian Raymond Ford. Yolene Ravender. Mai Iskander. Benjamin Jakes. Amanda Elias Jada. Ayman Isam Jamal. Hanan Khalid Gerard. Daracha Amelia Kenishe.
Kyra Alexandra Kenny. Karen Anna Colsett. Pierre Dano Cristanto. Lindsay Deanne Madison. Fatima McElhaney. Ralph Mushantov. Jonathan Patrick Nicholson. Carl David Obamayando. Heriberto Antonio Olier Souza. Aaron de Ramos Pagdagana. Whit Funsiri. Amy Rose Ross. Jessica Marie Russell. Mohammed Salah. Sarah Salah. Reenam Kamran Sami. Leo Joaquin Serna. Alexander Stokowski. Jacqueline Strohmeyer. Stephen Ted Swain. Brian Teo Raywen. Nora Maria Vissers. Elena Yepes-Shatova. Congratulations to the class of 2014. You seem very proud. The changing of the tassel from the left to the right side of the cap signifies the completion of graduation for the students. Tonight, this will be led by our Student Council President, Hanan Jarar.